Welcome back. In our last lesson, we divided the world into those folks who are outgoing and those folks who are more reserved. In today's lesson, we're going to divide the world again, except we're going to divide the world kind of left and right as opposed to up and back. So on the right-hand side here, we can divide the world up into those folks who are people-oriented and then those folks who are more task-oriented. Now, the division here is pretty unique, and we'll cover some of it as we go through. But this is all about your compass. So when I'm talking about someone who's people-oriented, I'm talking about someone who cares about relationships. They're caring, they're sharing their emotions, their feelings, and friendships, and they focus on the opinions of others and on how others feel about things. But not so much the task-oriented folks. Those folks are about procedure, function, programs, plans, projects, processes, and they focus on getting things done. So if you're more of a people-oriented person, okay, make a note of that on your sheet, card, notes where you're taking somewhere, or if you're more of a task-oriented person based upon these intentionally vague adjectives, then you can kind of make a notation there. So what I want to get to here is that up to 90% of all conflict comes from this division. This is a buddy nugget for you. The majority of conflict, up to 90% of all conflict in a relationship, comes from this division. It's not the first one. It's this people versus tasks. And let me give you a reason or some rationale behind that. From the standpoint of the people versus task, everyone has a unique way that they see a vacation. For example, if the people-oriented folks are about experiences and memories, and the task-oriented things are about getting things done. So when my family goes to a vacation, it's not very often. I have 5 kids, so we don't go on vacation very often. It's super expensive. But when we do go, it's to Disney World because that's my wife's favorite. That's where we honeymoon. She just loves going there and experiencing that magic, and I can't blame her. We have a good time when we go. So as a people-oriented person, a win for me at Disney is, let's say we're at Magic Kingdom, hitting Splash Mountain like 15 times in a row during the summer and just stay soaking wet all day, and then going into Space Mountain and riding as many times as you can, getting some cool shots, and you go by and look and see what all the little crazy stuff when the flash cameras came on, and eating cotton candy and popcorn and walking around with 2 big turkey legs in your hand, and lots of photos with Mickey and Minnie and just making so many memories. But for my wife, she is not about that. I mean, it's all about getting things done. So we better be in that parking lot by 7:02, ready to hit that tram by 7:15, be at the front of the line at 7:52 so we can get in first. We got our fast passes set up. Boom, 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 all 3 in a row. She's handing out agendas to everybody, including the 2-year-old. I mean, it is straight business because we have a lot of stuff to get done that day. So we know where we're going, when we're going. I mean, the potty breaks are built in there, let's say from like 10:12 to 10:27. And if you don't go to your potty break and get your snack at that point in time, you don't get it until after lunch. So it's very regimented. So it's about getting things done in that amount of time. We paid a ton of money for those tickets. We need to see every ride, go do everything, all of the stuff that's on the schedule. So it's very rigid. The people-oriented folks are more flexible in terms of they want to just have some good memories and have some pictures to take home and some things to talk about over Christmas dinners or family get-togethers or what have you. So from this perspective, you can see where there might be some potential conflict. If I don't want to stand in line and waiting for this ride for an hour and a half when I could be going and riding this other thing for 35 minutes as a people-oriented person. I just grab a couple of the kids and we want to go. Well, my wife is not like that. She says, no, we're going to stand in this line because then the next thing is close by. We're going to go there and there and then lunch and then da-da-da-da. So again, in the business world, it works the same way. People-oriented folks are all about the relationships, the social aspects of work, the friendships that they make there. And the task-oriented folks, they don't really care about the friendships and bonding. They can do that outside of work. They're there to get things done. For certain types of task-oriented folks, it's about getting things done in a specific order. For other task-oriented folks, it's about efficiency, getting things done as fast as possible. And we'll cover that here in just a little bit. So I want to again stress that if there's conflict in a relationship, if there's conflict with another person, a coworker at work, the majority of the time it comes from this division, people-oriented versus task-oriented. And as we start getting into this a little bit more, we're going to break down the basics of the methodology and kind of give you some indicators, some markers, if you will, to be able to identify who is whom in your workplace and really start getting deep into this methodology so you'll understand yourself and others better and then be able to adapt your behavior. We'll see you in the next lesson.